Alright guys, here in lesson 2 we are talking about creating database objects, and we start out in this chapter talking about defining data types. And if you remember, data type is just an attribute that specifies the type of data that an object can hold, and it also specifies how many bytes each data type takes up. With SQL Server, since we're using that, it includes a wide range of predefined data types called built-in data types. Most databases that you create or use only need to use these type of data types. And as you recall, those data types are organized by essentially general categories such as exact numbers, appropriate numbers, date and time, character strings, binary strings, other data types. So we're going to go ahead and get into our Server Management Studio here with our SQL, Microsoft SQL, and we're going to go ahead and use some of the elements we've learned about data types and as well as the information we've learned about general databases as a whole. And we're going to go ahead and create a table now, but first of all we're going to go into our SQL Server Management Studio and use one of the concepts that we used in lesson 1, which was creating a database. We're going to go ahead and we're going to use the GUI to do that. We're going to keep it simple for now instead of going in and creating a script or using script commands to do that. So let's go ahead and create our database. Then we'll come back in and we'll look at our steps for creating our table. Alright, we'll go ahead and open up our Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. We'll connect to our database. Alright, let's go ahead and create a new database. And we'll just call this class. We'll hit OK. And you can see our database has been created. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our steps for creating our table. Here are the 5 steps we're going to work on over the next few minutes creating our table. Now let's go ahead and jump back in and we'll start completing these steps now together. First of all, we are going to right click the table folder here in our database. We're going to expand that. Here's our tables. We're going to select new table. Now that our table has been created for our database, we're going to use the information shown in figure 2-3 to complete the details for the column name, the data type, and length as specified in the parentheses and allow nulls columns. So let's go ahead and take a look now at that figure. Here you can see what we're working with. So we're going to go ahead and give our column names, our data type, and whether to allow or not allow null values here. Let's go back in and create these fields. Alright, let's go ahead and put your cursor in here for the column name. And as we saw earlier, we're going to give this a column name of individual ID. It's going to be a data type int, and we are not going to allow nulls. Let's go ahead and put that information in now. Like I said, we're going to give it a data type of int, and as you start typing, Microsoft will go through all the different data types and try to autofill as you type. And there's int. And as we tab over, allow nulls becomes default to be checked. So we're going to hit the spacebar and uncheck that. And we're going to hit the tab key to move down to our next column name, which is planet name. Our data type is going to be varchar. Okay, the next column name we're going to use is planet type. And we're going to give that a type of varchar as well. Leave the default to allow nulls. And our last one is radius. Now, as you can see, we have created our column names. We've declared a data type. We've assigned links where necessary. And we've specified in the parentheses the allow null columns. So that matches up with our figure 2-3. Let's go on to the next step. Alright, we're going to go ahead and complete another field which we're going to call time created. And we're going to call that data type. We're going to use it as date time. We're going to then change our default value of our time created column to insert the current date with each time that the new record is created. So here is the get date item that we're going to create in our general property. So let's go ahead and go back in now and we'll create that time created field. Alright, let's go ahead and create that now. We're going to give it a name of time created. Data type, date, time. You see how it autofills. Now we're going to go down here in our default value, open parenthesis, get date, open close parenthesis, close parenthesis. Now by creating it like that, we will be able to insert the current date within each new record for that specific field. Now that we've got that created, let's go ahead and save this. We're going to call it planets. Since I already created this, we've got an issue. Alright, even though it said it couldn't, it did save it, and we've got our information here. So like I said, once you're done creating that table, just go up to File, and I'd already saved mine, so save, give it a name of planets, you should be fine. So once you expand tables, you should be able to see that the table you created, that database object, is there and able to be used. And that's it for these first 5 steps. We'll pick up the next steps in the next section, in which we will be creating views using our Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Thank you.